that they want to do to try to cover this up. But at the end of the day, ain't no covering this up. Y'all hella lying. So this was an incident that happened at the game. Caitlin Clark and her coach hate each other, right? Brick Center captured this moment right here, right? Now, I'm finna play this moment for y'all, and I want to know y'all reaction to this. Let's play it.
She's been scuffling a little bit lately from the free throw line. It's something she mentioned to us today at shoot-around.
The WNBA is facing a major controversy, and what began as quiet concerns behind the scenes has now turned into a huge debate across women's basketball for weeks. Fans have been watching games and wondering why Caitlin Clark, one of the league's most dangerous offensive players, seems to be getting fewer opportunities in the offense. Many supporters believe something is seriously wrong with the way she is being used. And now new footage has added even more fuel to those questions. The video has sparked claims about head coach Stephanie White's decisions involving Clark, while Jose Fernandez also went on national television and strongly criticized the coaching approach, arguing that certain tactics could be limiting Clark's impact. But the biggest development may be Clark herself, as she has reportedly addressed the situation in a way that caught fans and basketball insiders off guard. With the controversy growing and pressure building around the organization, everyone is now waiting to see what happens next. Stephanie White is now under serious pressure, and the controversy surrounding the WNBA has reached another level. Fans have been questioning the way Caitlin Clark is being used, and recent games have only added to those concerns. When White took control of the offense, many expected the team to build around Clark's elite shooting, playmaking, and ability to create scoring opportunities. Instead, critics argue that the offense has moved away from the system that helped Clark become one of the biggest stars in basketball. Over the past few weeks, viewers have repeatedly seen Clark work hard to get open, including making runs off screens and calling for the ball, only to see teammates look elsewhere. At the same time, the team has relied more heavily on isolation possessions that can leave Clark standing away from the main action. Those decisions have sparked a growing debate among fans and analysts, who are asking whether Clark is being properly utilized or whether the coaching strategy is limiting one of the team's most dangerous offensive weapons.
Y'all see that? Y'all see that moment right there? That was a moment. Now, if you guys really know Caitlin looking at the shot clock. Caitlin is looking at the shot clock, right? She's back because Stephanie White already know Caitlin Clark finna go to this inside lane right here. So there's an inside lane right here. Caitlin Clark is about to hit this lane. Stephanie White knows it. Boom, lane. Now, Caitlin Clark did get the shot block, but I believe she was fouled on that play. But it's plays like that, and then it's situations like this that I believe Caitlin Clark is subliminally telling us she do not like Stephanie White. I don't give a damn what no one says. What no one says, bro. She ain't rocking with her, dog. Now, Kelsey Mitchell and Stephanie White was all laughs after a loss today. It was all smiles in the presser. They trying to like not be mad, but they mad. Now, I'm not going to play this whole press conference. We're going to watch some of it. Shout out to Tony Eastman. If you guys ain't subscribed to his channel, make sure you guys going on over there and show that brother some love. We finna listen to some of this, and we're going to dissect it. We're not going to play the whole 9 minutes.
The media tried to explain the situation as normal rookie growing pains, saying Caitlin Clark simply needed more time to understand the system, but many fans and basketball analysts strongly disagreed. They believed the problem went beyond ordinary adjustments and questioned whether Clark was being used as effectively as she could be. Critics argued that Stephanie White may have been determined to prove that her system would not revolve around one player, even a young superstar who had brought enormous attention to the league. But in today's social media era, every possession can be replayed, analyzed, and debated by millions of viewers, making it difficult for questionable decisions to go unnoticed. The controversy grew even louder after Jose Fernandez publicly challenged White's approach and broke down several offensive sequences, arguing that Clark was being left away from the action instead of being placed in situations where her shooting and playmaking would have the biggest impact. He questioned why a player with Clark's range and passing ability would spend crucial possessions standing in the corner instead of creating opportunities with the ball in her hands. Fernandez also pointed to late-game situations where the offense appeared to move away from Clark, calling the strategy a serious coaching mistake and arguing that the team needed to make better use of its biggest offensive threat. His comments quickly spread across social media, with supporters joining the conversation and demanding answers about how Clark was being utilized and whether the coaching staff was making the right decisions.
Pick and rolls for Caitlin Clark. They didn't run an off-ball play for her until the third quarter. Stephanie White's game plan was, let's get Kelsey Mitchell the ball and get her as many points as we can, as often as we can. That was her whole game plan. She sucks as a coach. Jose Fernandez knows it. Take a listen.
Talk about the defense you guys played on Caitlin Clark today. 104 15 shooting.
Well, we wanted to get it out of her hands. You know, in any pick and roll situation in the middle of the floor, she's so good. So if it was going to be,
we wanted to get it out of her hands, especially when she does that pick and roll in the middle of the floor. She's so good. We didn't even run the damn pick and roll in the middle of the floor. They didn't run a pick and roll in the middle of the floor the entire second quarter for Caitlin Clark until it was like 16 seconds left. His whole defensive game plan was centered around Caitlin Clark and the pick and roll, and we did not run it because Stephanie White wants Aaliyah Boston to be a hub. No pick and rolls. Bailed him out. He's going to keep going. I'm going to run it back. I just want y'all to hear it in full this time. The whole Dallas wing plan was built around stopping Caitlin Clark in the ball screen action, and we didn't even set no real picks for her. Aaliyah Boston is a bum.
But Fernandez's criticism was only the beginning, because the controversy became even bigger after alleged footage from a team huddle surfaced online. Following the backlash, the WNBA reportedly tried to calm the situation by emphasizing that the team remained united, but the leaked video sparked a completely different conversation. In the footage, the team is trailing by 5 points late in the fourth quarter, and Caitlin Clark appears focused on the coaching board as the staff discusses the next play. According to the claims surrounding the video, Stephanie White appears to focus on a veteran player rather than Clark, despite Clark being ready to contribute. The audio also appears to capture Clark pointing out an issue with the defensive coverage and suggesting a possible adjustment, only for her input to be dismissed. Fans immediately interpreted the moment as evidence that Clark was being overlooked, although the footage alone does not prove a deliberate effort to undermine her. What made the situation even more intense was Clark's visible frustration, as she appeared to push back instead of quietly accepting the decision, after weeks of criticism and questions about her role. The moment gave fans the impression that Clark had finally reached her limit and was ready to make her voice heard.
37 points. Her team made her look good, right? Okay.
This comes down, obviously, to work. But I don't really take statistics really that serious, so a lot of this stuff is really circumstantial to me, and so I want to get the dub, and we didn't get that. So I think keeping the focus on the right thing, keeping the main thing is important.
That's their favorite thing to say. Keep the main thing the main thing.
Guys, Lexi and Chelsea, I spoke to Becky's creative director earlier this year. Just your thoughts on Jazz Bell, sorry. Fisher talked about, we're collaborating with him on some of the stuff that you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Really great guy. I think a lot of his designs and creativity has made our few girls happy. A lot of the stuff that he put together at the beginning of the season was really dope, and we got a chance to meet him and everything that he brought to the table. And so it's great to build relationships, but I think ultimately it's great to also be grateful for the people that do things like that. So shout out to him.
This question for Lexi. This is Ivan with STW Media. You build a reputation on bringing energy and toughness. What did you feel the team needed more down the stretch tonight?
I think more energy and toughness. I think we talked about it in the locker room at half, and we talked about it again at the end of the game. That they're playing to make the playoffs. They came in with a lot of energy, a lot of grit, and I think at the end of the day, they just wanted it more. They were more desperate for the win. So for us, I think it's just we needed more of that. We needed to be the team that wanted it more, and I don't think that we were today. Yes, I know.
Great. So this is for Coach White or anyone that might want to answer. With the regular season series against Dallas now complete, what do you take away from these matchups if you potentially see them again later in the season?
I think the biggest thing is we got to be better on the defensive end of the floor. I think the first matchup we gave them over 100 points, gave them 91 here today.
Right.
They made some really good adjustments. They forced us to guard one-on-one. We've improved on the defensive end, but we've got to continue to grow, in those areas. We got to finish plays. 12 second chance points in the second half when we're trying to make a comeback.
That brings us to the moment that reportedly sent social media into overdrive and left fans talking everywhere. After the game and the circulation of the alleged huddle footage, Caitlin Clark spoke to reporters, and many expected the usual carefully worded response designed to avoid controversy. Instead, according to the transcript, Clark delivered a much more direct message. She explained that she came to the league to compete for championships and play at the highest level, while making it clear that she needs the ball in her hands to make an impact as a scorer and playmaker. She did not directly name Stephanie White, but her comments immediately led many people to connect her words to the ongoing questions about the offensive system. The statement added even more pressure to an already tense situation, with fans demanding answers about Clark's role and calling for changes within the organization. The debate has now moved beyond individual plays and into a much bigger question. Should the team continue with its current approach? Or should it build the offense more heavily around one of the league's biggest young stars? With the controversy continuing to grow, the pressure on the coaching staff and front office is only getting stronger.
Side pick and rolls. It just get a ball to Kelsey and let her go. Let her go. Let her go. It's terrible, man.
Get it out of her hands. Or if it was going to be on the side of the floor, we wanted to get it out of her hands and make other people.
We wanted to get it out of her hands and make other people do stuff.
Make shots.
Force other people to make shots. Stephanie White bailed the Dallas Wings out by not having Caitlin Clark involved. It's that simple.
But this kind of performance, the way that Paige took care of the ball, Maddie's plus 16, Alicia Clark coming in and defending, Jess Shepard's all-time season high, Arike and what she did offensively. So there's a lot of things and a lot of people responsible, and that's what good teams do, especially with everything that this group has gone through, right? But I think it started with their continued focus in the film room and in practice and shoot around today.
He centered the film, he centered everything around stopping Caitlin Clark. And Stephanie White didn't force him to stop Caitlin Clark. She did it for him. The Indiana Fever's coach stopped Caitlin Clark for Jose Fernandez. He was never really forced to double her that often, never really forced to blitz her inside pick and rolls because they didn't run any of it. They just didn't run any of it. Aaliyah Boston refused to set real picks. Aaliyah Boston refused to give Caitlin Clark the ball on handoffs. She refused to do it.
Kind of on that note, Coach, you know, winning in multiple ways obviously can be beneficial in the postseason. How much does the multiple lineups, having different players step up, like the first half with Jess, second half with Reed tonight, like how much could that help you guys down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, when you lose a player like AZ, who's the #1 pick, right? And we've relied.
Stephanie White is under serious pressure. And the debate over Caitlin Clark's role is getting louder. What do you think about that? Leaked footage. Do you believe Clark is being unfairly limited, or is the coaching strategy simply being misunderstood? And do you agree with Jose Fernandez's criticism? Share your opinion in the comments. Then like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more WNBA updates and Caitlin Clark coverage.